Welcome to this review. This is a special review, and we're going to have some fun on Snake Eyes Day. That's right, we're going to look at 1, 2, 3 Snake Eyes figures and do some comparisons right now. Let's take a look at Snake Eyes and Timber. Now, as we take a look at these Snake Eyes figures, we're gonna first take a look at their accessories. Alright, so taking a look at our Snake Eyes first release, we're gonna take a look at all of his gear here. He's got a belt that's floating here. He also has a strap around his thigh here that allows him to store his pistol and the scope. He also has another strap around this thigh. It's a little tighter that allows him to store his knife here. On this backpack, he's able to plug in this sheath right here in that hole, which allows him to store his sword sheath, and of course the sheath stores his sword there. That sheath has that cool ninja insignia on it that comes from the clans that Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes comes from. Alright, now another interesting note with this guy, and he also has that logo on his belt buckle too. He also has this strap around his chest too here that's loose. And there's a hole in that so you can plug in his backpack. As I turn it around here, it has a peg, as I was showing you with the sheath, peg hole right there. And this right here, weapon, also has a little peg built into it. So you can also peg the machine gun in there if you would rather have him, you know, more commando, having that machine gun ready instead of his sword ready. And with this little pistol accessory that he comes with, you can plug that little silencer barrel right into the end of that, turn that into like a silencer pistol. Now, this has a hole in it, so apparently there's some way of possibly storing that, maybe if not on this, on some other accessory or figure that, you know, has an extra peg, because, you know, we've already covered that this is a hole. This has a hole in it as well. So not sure on that one, but there is some more options there. And he's going to be able to hold that and even put his finger, his trigger finger, right into the trigger hole there. He does have excellent vertical hinges, so he's going to be able to hold that or the sword and make it look very realistic. I'm liking that. And this Snake Eyes also has like a mix of matte and satin paint throughout to exemplify or accentuate the wrinkles, kind of bring those out throughout his pants and area. He did a great job coloring some of the silver buckles, like right here on his chest, little studs. So there's some really neat things going on. There's a little red dot over his visor there. This is the retail Snake Eyes, the first retail Snake Eyes that we got, but I just think he looks great. And Timber would look great beside him, which we'll look at during comparisons. Alright, moving on to his more movie accurate incarnation here. He does not come with as many accessories. He comes with a sheath that will peg into his back, same area that most of them have, like a backpack hole. And he has a sword, and this one of course has the metallic type blade on it, whereas the one that came with our first Snake Eyes did not. But there you have his accessories as far as weapons. And then you can pop off this head sculpt, and he does come accessorized with an alternate head that does kind of look like the actor in the movie. So you'll be able to pop off that helmet head and put on this head and have an unmasked Snake Eyes, which really looks cool. Get a closer look at his head sculpt there. A lot of great detail in that face sculpt, like it, even in the eyes. Really nice. And then the final Snake Eyes that I have is this more Commando style Snake Eyes that comes with Timber. And that certainly counts as one of his major accessories. He also comes with this smaller machine gun. He also comes with this machine gun here, as well as this machine gun here. Just like with our first Snake Eyes, he has the ability to put his pistol in the holster as well as the scope, and to put his knife over here in a sheath over here on the side. And this is a different knife because this one actually has some silver on the blade. So really cool. I think it's a different sheath too. He does have a cover over his torso which is non-removable, I do believe. A thick type cover like some of our Joes have had over their torso. So that is going to impede some of the articulation, and it gives some thickness to his front area here, his front region. And you see some of those ammo clips that are attached to him, and of course, you know, molded on grenades and various type things just in the pouches. And you see his clothes are quite a bit different than the other ones, even his boots. But overall, a very neat looking Snake Eyes. He's got more of a traditional, classic looking helmet on, I think ranging back to like the original Snake Eyes. I kind of prefer the first Snake Eyes helmet a little better. Looks more like kind of the late 80s, early 90s incarnation of that black stealth looking Snake Eyes that I got. You know, I guess it was probably, I don't know which release it was, but it certainly looks more like that one. And he came with Timber also back in the 88, 89, 90 era of Joe's. Cool. And then taking a look at Timber, our final accessory here. This is a really cool looking accessory, this wolf. And he has a lot of articulation, which we're going to look at. But before that, let's go ahead and take a look at this dog head, this wolf head, I'm sorry. Keep wanting to call him a dog. But Timber's second head sculpt is this ferocious attack mode or growling mode or maybe barking or even howling mode type face sculpt, which is really cool. Even the eyes, look at the eyes. Really neat. Awesome. Like in that head sculpt, the teeth on the inside, the tongue, just everything. So that's really cool. So now let's look at Timber's articulation. So going ahead and popping on this second head sculpt, because both of them get the same style articulation. And he's going to be able to look up that much, get those howling looks going on there. He's going to be able to look down. Then you can also use that neck joint to look down some. He's also going to be able to look side to side. Of course, he will be able to turn his head as well, like so. So you're just going to be able to get a good range of motion this way, as well as going side to side that way. Excellent. And this part right here shifts up and shifts down. That's the motion you're going to get from this mane and neck type joint. And then going on back to this middle part of the torso, you're going to be able to rotate a little bit, but its main purpose is to go side to side. So that's nice. Bend him side to side. Then going back to his legs, he's going to be able to spread out like that, spread in, go up, go back all the way. He has another joint right here below his upper muscle here that also swivels. Then you're going to be able to go to this joint just above his paw, another knee type joint. That one does not swivel, but then he's got a joint even on his paw here, as you can see. Go up and then it go down, and even has a rocker on the paw. Has an excellent rocker joint on the paws. Isn't that detailed? Wow, that's really nice. And then the back, the same way, they spread out. There's a joint up here which will bend back quite a ways from this larger muscle up here. Also has a swivel there. And then this joint will either go forward or about that much back. There's not a swivel there, but there is a hinge on that back paw as well as a rocker on that paw. So that is really nice. And look at the detail on the bottom of those paws. Cool. And then the tail will articulate up and down and also swish all the way around if you'd like to, so it's on a hinge. So that is really neat. He's got some great articulation. And looking at our Snake Eyes articulation, they're pretty much the same for all of these. So I'm going to take a look first of all at this, my favorite one. You're going to be able to see as far as his head, he's going to be able to look up a good amount there. He's going to be able to look down all the way. And because there is a neck and head, you're going to be able to get a good range all the way across, even some tilt. And there's a hinge up there as well, so you're going to be able to look up really good. You're going to be able to get some turning side to side, so you get a really good range with that head sculpt. Moving on to the arms, he's going to be able to do 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. He is able to strike above the 90 up there on that T pose there. He does have some little bit of butterfly joint going on in there, which is going to allow him to come across his chest, which is nice there. Excellent, excellent. Moving on to his torso, he's going to be able to bend back a good amount, and it actually looks decent. He's going to be able to crunch forward a good amount. He also has a ball joint at the waist, so he's going to be able to bend back and forth and side to side. So that's going to add some of his momentum and motion as well there. Getting some of those awesome ninja poses, almost Spider-Man-like poses, I'm sure. Moving on to these legs, he does have that drop-down method a little bit there, so he's going to be able to kick out a good amount. Going to be able to get pretty much full splits, even though these holsters are there. You have to kind of get them out of the way a little bit. This belt is floating, like I mentioned. He has double jointed knees, so that goes all the way back. Does well there. He does have thigh rotation here, a thigh break there, mentioned that. And he has boot cut. He also has the ability to go full tiptoes, as well as go up a good amount, and has an excellent rocker and of course a peg hole in the bottom. So this guy has really good articulation, as we've been seeing with most of these Joes. And like I mentioned, on both hands he has the vertical hinge, so he's going to be able to wield that sword very well indeed. Very good. The main differences with this guy, we'll just bring out that they really hid the abdomen area. I mean, you could hardly see that joint at all, but yet it's still there. It is still there, but it's very well hidden. I love that. There's no boot articulation as far as it being a swivel. That's a difference on this one. And then the head articulation is limited somewhat because of the collar back here that is around his neck, which is different from the other Snake Eyes figures that we have. So that's the only difference in this guy for the most part. And this guy has the same articulation as the first Snake Eyes, except for because of this chest armor that's covering his torso, it is going to impede his ability to crunch. He'll be able to do it a little bit, especially getting that ball joint in, but that's not going to be as near as much of a bending back or bending forward as we got with the first Snake Eyes release. But everything else will be the same with this guy. Doing some quick comparisons, here's our first Snake Eyes next to Timber, and I've got him posed up here ready to sword fight someone. He is just excellent in some of the things that he poses he's able to get in. I think he's looking great. This Snake Eyes, he's looking excellent. And he looks excellent alongside his partner here, Timber. And this is kind of the Snake Eyes that I would like to go with as far as the majority of the time here in my collection. And here is our Timber next to the unhelmeted head Snake Eyes here. And he's kneeling down here in a great pose, checking out Timber, and Timber's able to look up at him and sit down himself and get in a great pose there. And that is looking cool as the other Joes check out this comparison here. Cool. And here's the Snake Eyes our Timber came with, and he's saying, "Come on, boy, we're ready to go out on a mission." And Timber is pointed and ready to go. These guys can just get in some great poses. The rest of the Joes as well, and they're just all ready to be a team and excited about working together. Awesome. Let's do a few other comparisons to some other action figures right quick. He may be a little short, but there is our Snake Eyes and Timber next to a first release of Mortal Kombat by Storm Collectible, and that is Storm himself in the purple, the ninja outfit. But they're a little bit oversized for this line, I believe. But there you can see there. I don't have a whole lot of ninjas, but you can see that look. He's also on the small side next to our SH Figure Arts Jiren, and I'm kind of surprised. I thought they would be a little bit better of a match here, but you see the way he looks beside. Now Timber would go great with him, but Snake Eyes seems to be a little bit small. Well, I think our Snake Eyes goes perfect with the Master of Kung Fu by Marvel Legends, Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi. With his nunchucks there, and I still say this guy could be an excellent quick kick from the original G.I. Joe line, and I think he is cool looking alongside our Snake Eyes here, and he can be my quick kick until we get one of him, right? And he's definitely too small, our Snake Eyes, for our Marvel Legends She-Hulk on more of the larger size of, Marvel Legends women here. But there's a quick look at those comparisons. And I think our Snake Eyes actually looks pretty good and can work with this, and Timber, of course, with this Sarah Connor, Terminator 2 Sarah Connor figure by NECA. So cool. And thank you so much for dropping by and checking out another Super Dave review. This has been a Snake Eyes Playdate looking at these 3 Snake Eyes action figures. So if you enjoyed, hit that like. Subscribe if you haven't, comment if you've enjoyed it, and we'll look forward to talking with you next time. Be blessed, enjoy these photos.